Chicago came back to win last night, and now it's winner take all here this afternoon. Cliff Lee about to make his warm-up tosses, and that'll give us a chance to check out Ozzie Guillen's starting 9 today. Jason Nix in the leadoff spot. Scott Posednik, one of 2 left-handed hitters, will hit in the 2-hole. Jermaine Dye. Paul Konerko batting cleanup. A.J. Przynski, the other left-handed swinger, batting 5th. Josh Fields at third base. Wilson Betterman serving as the DH today, batting in the 7-hole. Then Alexi Ramirez and Brent Lillibridge rounds it out.
Cliff Lee on the mound for the Indians, making his 8th start this year, a 1-5 record. In his last start against the Chicago White Sox, it was a 5-0 win last September 1st. It was his second complete game shutout of the year, and it was also win number 20. That was the first Indian to win 20 games since Gaylord Perry did it in 1974. So he is locked in. He is 5-5 in his career against the White Sox, and see if he can give the Indians a series win here this afternoon. Let's take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by the Indians Team Shop, where you can get 2 t-shirts for $30. In the outfield, it's going to be Laporta, Sizemore, and Chu. On the infield, Carroll making his first start of the year at third base, Peralta at short, Cabrera at second, Martinez at first, and Kelly Shoppach behind the plate.
Mike DeMuro will call the balls and strikes today behind home plate. Then James Hoy at first, Dale Scott, the crew chief, at second, and Jerry Meals is down at third. It is almost staggering when you look at the numbers for Cliff Lee in terms of the run support. I mean, he's made 7 starts, and if you take the start he made in Yankee Stadium out of the equation when the Indians erupted for 9 runs in the 7th inning, they've scored a grand total, other than that game, of 2 runs in his other 6 starts.
That is amazing, and that's the one you're talking about on the 16th. You can see only 2 other times have they scored a run, one against Holiday, one against Verlander.
Starts today's game with a strike to Jason Nix.
Well, the one thing you don't want to happen is where you want Cliff to get depressed or down because he isn't getting any run support, because he is throwing the ball as well as he did last year when he had his Cy Young year.
That's in there for a strike, 0-2. I think a younger Cliff Lee, a younger pitcher in general, maybe you just take Cliff out of the equation, I think it would affect him. But he's reached a level of maturity in his career where he understands, hey, I can only control my part of the game, and you can't let the other stuff bother you.
Well, he's doing a very good job of it.
It probably bothers him a little bit. You wouldn't be human
sure,
if it didn't.
No, it has to bother you, but still, he's, sooner or later he'll snap. I mean, when you look at the run he gave up against Detroit in this homestand, it should have been an unearned run. It wasn't scored an error, but it should have been.
Pitch outside to Nix.
That was the 1-0 ball game on Friday night. Was probably one of the best games I've seen in quite some time.
The play you're referring to is Valbuena charging.
Second base.
Couldn't get the ball out of his glove.
Double clutched.
Yeah.
And then the Indians could have won that game in the 9th inning, and Curtis Granderson made the game-saving catch in center field off the bat of Grady Sizemore. That was, that was a great ball game.
That ball was fouled off and into the PA booth, and Bob Tayak, who has the mitt in his hand, almost made a spectacular grab, but Bob, it was just beyond his reach. But a valiant effort from the venerable PA voice. Now the 2-2 to Nix. Broke his bat, and Cliff Lee somehow grabbed it. I'm not sure he saw it go into his mitt, but it went in there nonetheless.
It looked like he was jumping to get out of the way of it. But it bounced right in there. You talk about being at the right place at the right time. See, it was a changeup. The guy hit a changeup to him. He went up thinking it was going to be hit harder than what it was. See him jump, and then the glove goes back down. Nicely done.
Terrific job by the Indians pitcher.
He got rid of it in a hurry, too.
Scott Posednik steps in. And it's a first pitch strike. You see Posednik's numbers on the year. One hopper backhanded nicely by Peralta. And he takes care of the speedy Posednik for out number 2. Today's injury report brought to you by the law firm of Nuremberg, Paris, Ohio's injury lawyer since 1928. Call 1-800-399-2300. Here's a look at the list of injured players for the Indians. And for Chicago, Carlos Quentin still in a day-to-day mode, although they expect him back for their next series, which starts Friday.
They go to Toronto from here, don't they?
That is correct,
they
sir.
play the Blue Jays, and Blue Jays still playing solid baseball.
Yep, Toronto leads Boston by a game in the AL East with a mark of 23-12.
Halladay, what's he, 7-1? Up there north of the border. Putting together another Cy Young year.
Tell you what, right now,
it's a nice
Burley, Roy Halladay,
Verlander, Greinke.
I mean, Zach Greinke, I would think, would be the odds-on favorite at this point. Right now.
There's a long year to go.
Picked nicely by Jamie Carroll, who throws on the run to get Jermaine Dye. And the White Sox go 1-2-3. Now Cliff Lee can settle in and watch his offense go to work against Mark Burley when we come back. Progressive Field and Eric Wedge is starting 9, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Brady Sizemore is Drupal Cabrera and Victor Martinez, followed by Shin-Soo Choo, Johnny Peralta, and Ryan Garco, who has good career numbers against the White Sox starter today. Jamie Carroll, Matt Laporta, and Kelly Shopik round out the 9 for Cleveland. Sizemore steps in. And the pitch is up high for ball 1. Popped high in the air. Playable. Left side, Josh Fields. Third baseman in foul ground. Quickly one out.
Let's check out the defense behind Mark Burley this afternoon. It looks like this. Pasednik in left, Lillibridge in center, Dye is in right. Fields at third, Ramirez at short, Nix is at second, Konerko at first, Perzinski behind the plate. And Mark Burley, you can see that he's 5-0 in his 6 starts. The White Sox are 6-0 in his starts. He's coming off a gem. His best start of the year, allowed just 1 single over 8 innings, retired the first 19 hitters of the ball game before Polanco hit a double off him.
As Drupal Cabrera, a soft liner to short, 2 away. Let's get a look right now at our Firestone League leaders. We were talking about this a moment ago. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Roy Halladay leads the league in wins. Zach Greinke is second, but Greinke leads the league in earned run average, strikeouts. He's second to Halladay in innings pitched, so it would be a heck of a vote if you had to vote right now for the Cy Young Award.
But, I mean, there's a long way to go. There's over 4 months of baseball.
But those 3 have definitely put themselves in a category by themselves at this moment.
That's it, Victor. You got to slow him down. He loves to work quickly. I mean, he gets into his rhythm. You really have to slow him down. I mean, what he does, he likes to get ahead of you 0-1 and then really start working that plate, expand it a little bit, and he's got that kind of control where he can do that.
In the air, pretty well hit, deep center. Lillibridge back on the track, at the wall, it's gone! Victor Martinez sends one to straightaway center into the Indians' bullpen, and the Tribe jumps on top 1-0. 7th home run of the year for Victor Martinez, who drove it to straightaway center field.
That is the Indians' first home run since Victor hit one back in Boston. Let's take a look at our Pepsi replay, and it was at right center field off the left-hander, and he catches that looked like a little breaking ball out over the plate, and he stepped out, slowed him down, but the Indians will take a 1-0 lead on Victor Martinez's 7th home run.
Now Shin-Soo Choo looks at a first pitch strike. Choo drives one in the alley left center field. Cut off by Lillibridge, and Choo holds with a long 2-out single. So back-to-back hits after he got the first two. Now, Rick, after Martinez hits the home run, he rounds first. It looked like he and Burley.
I know it.
I don't think any words were exchanged. Maybe just a glance. I got you that time, but maybe it had something to do with when he stepped out.
I guarantee. Burley might have said something when he stepped out. And then Victor, after he hit that ball out, had the look back. It had something to do with stepping out. I guarantee it.
A called strike to Johnny Peralta.
Watch. He's going to take time out. Yeah, he's saying slow down big time. Yeah, that's great. That's good work right there, boys. That's what it's all about right there. Burley wanted to try and rush him. Good job.
Peralta breaks the bat. Fields at third, goes the short way to get the force. Inning over. But the blast by Martinez has the Tribe on top 1-0 after 1. By Continental Airlines, official airline of the Cleveland Indians. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. Back here at Progressive Field, Indians with the early 1-0 lead thanks to the home run by Victor Martinez. And as we go to the second inning, Paul Konerko, A.J. Pierzynski, and Josh Fields scheduled to face Cliff Lee. First pitch down low. Konerko comes in batting .305. He's really been on an offensive surge here lately for Chicago. Last 26 games batting at a .320 clip. Fouled out of play right side, 1-1.
Well, Paul Konerko had a year last year where he had nagging injury, that oblique muscle, and it was just never – he never got to 100%. And offensively it hurt him. He's a very good run producer. When that weather starts getting warm and we end up taking our trips into Chicago, you'll see they love to hit in their home ballpark.
And the 2-1 pitch is hit fouled on the left side. Paul Konerko needs just one more extra base hit to pass Harold Baines and move into sole possession of third place in franchise history.
Now that makes a good statement for me, because playing against Harold Baines for years in Chicago, he was a good player. Of course, their first base coach now.
That's right.
So I mean, that's getting a lot of extra base hits.
Weak ground ball hit to short. Peralta throws him out, 1 down. If there's an engagement in your future, think about buying your engagement ring at Alvin's Jewelers. Check out their Pray for Rain promotion. You buy your engagement ring at Alvin's. It rains on your wedding day, your engagement ring is free. Log on to alvinsjewelers.com for all their Pray for Rain details. A.J. Pierzynski sat out last night's ball game. Comes in batting .301 on the year. Pierzynski, not really what you would consider a power guy from the left side, but certainly can drive the ball.
Loves the ball down and in. He can rake it. No, but he finds a way to put the ball in play. He's a slasher.
In the air, routine for Grady Sizemore in center field. 2 down. That's the first fly ball out recorded today for Cliff Lee.
Well, the Indians are celebrating the end of the school year with a half-price ticket offer for Thursday, June 11th. It's a game against the Kansas City Royals. Log on to Indians.com/schoolsout and enter the password SUMMER for this great ticket deal.
Josh Field steps in now, White Sox third baseman, batting .243 on the year. Lots of school kids in attendance here today. Channel 3 Weather Day before the ball game. Nice educational presentation on the field with
Betsy Kling was here, Holly Strano, AJ
Colby, all the Channel 3 weather team. Kids were rolling in here by the busload this morning.
Look at, it's a little loud here this morning at about 10:30. You know, when you're coming in after a night game, got a little howling. Oh, there's Betsy. There's Slider.
Field swings and misses, and the count is 1-2. Fun was had by all, and now the kids. What's great about having the kids is they definitely bring an energy and excitement for a 12 o'clock game that ordinarily would not be there. Swung on and missed. Cliff Lee gets his first strikeout. 6 up, 6 down for the White Sox. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Cleveland. Back here at Progressive Field, Mark Burley deals down low to Ryan Garko to start the bottom of the second. Channel 3 weather education days here at Progressive Field. Large groups of school kids in attendance. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Mark Burley, as soon as he gets the ball back from the catcher, he's on the rubber ready to go with the next pitch. Fouled into the lower deck, and Burley's been asked about it before, and he said it's not something I decided one day I'm going to just start throwing fast. He said it just happens. It's just sort of natural. I get the ball, I'm ready to go, and I'm ready for the next pitch.
And you got to love it. I mean, I wish more pitchers would do that. Look at that. Dots the eye on the inside corner.
Gets his first strikeout, 1 down here in the second inning.
You know, Tuesday, May 26th, when the Indians take on the Rays, it's time for you to take on some hot dogs. Dollar Dog Night returns. Hot dogs for $1 throughout the game. Visit Indians.com. Value pricing for tickets.
I think Redbird had a stat for us earlier that the average time a game when Burley pitches is about 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. But, you know, he doesn't mess around. I mean, it's not that he rushes or he's trying to rush the hitters. He just likes to throw strikes. I mean, in the first inning, nobody saw more than 3 pitches, and it was Martinez on the third pitch that hit the home run. Everybody else saw 2 pitches, and their approach as an offense has to change because he's going to get ahead of you. He's going to expand your strike zone, so get ahead and look early for strike one. There's nothing wrong with, you know, swinging the bat early against him.
Jamie Carroll back in the lineup after coming off the DL, suffered a fractured left hand in the final exhibition game of the season. So he brings a 9-game hitting streak from last year, at the end of last year, into today's game. Bounces it behind the bag at third. Fields' long throw on the money. 2 down. Today's All-Tel text poll question of the game. Who would you like to see play from first base for the Indians on a consistent basis? Text your answer to 31962. 1 for Matt Laporta, 2 for Victor Martinez, 3 for Ryan Garko, 4 for Mark DeRosa. I think Eric Wedge, though, is going to continue to rotate. I don't know that you'll see anybody consistently playing there.
Well, you won't if Victor's going to get time there. He's not going to stay there every day because he's going to catch too. So there is going to be a rotation. We don't know how much Laporta is going to be in there or Garko is going to be in there. We just have too many guys that can play that position.
Matt Laporta, 3 hits and 16 at-bats. Singled in last night's ball game. And the count 2-1. He was fooled badly on that pitch.
Well, 2-1 count. Usually you want to, I mean, if it's a changeup, go ahead. Don't slow your swing down. Let it fly. Swing and miss by, it doesn't matter.
He's caught in between. You can see it. 2-2. Punched it up in the air, and it's going to get into the seats.
Mark Burley's a guy that doesn't throw 93, 95. He's going to top out 88 to 90 maybe, and he's got off-speed. He's got a slow curve ball around 80. He's got a changeup about 77. It's tough to get young hitters to do this, but maybe sit on something slow and try and get jam from this guy.
Rounds at the third, just foul. Well, Laporta, you may have heard earlier during the on-deck show, Laporta talking about, the difference between AAA and the big leagues is the pitchers up here, when they miss, they don't miss by a lot, and they don't miss very often.
They can exploit weaknesses much better.
Especially the good ones.
Well,
guys like Mark Burley, they're not going to miss very often. In the dirt, full count. If Laporta gets aboard, Kelly Shopik will be next. And the payoff pitch. Fouled that off his front leg.
A little cutter running into the right-handers. It's got late break. Laporta fouls it off his either instep or shin.
I think it looked like a shin, yeah. You know, when you talk to Matt Laporta, he's a thoughtful guy, and you can tell when he goes to the plate, he's thinking it through. He has a plan. You wonder, though, as a young player, can you get caught thinking too much? Rolls it to short. Alexi Ramirez throws him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Indians. 2 innings complete here at Progressive Field. It's Cleveland 1 and Chicago nothing. Inning here at Progressive Field. 1-0 Indians. Bottom third of the Chicago order due up here. Cliff Lee will look at Wilson Betterment, Alexi Ramirez, and Brent Lillibridge. 6 up, 6 down, 4 ground ball outs, 1 fly out to center, and a strikeout for Cliff Lee so far. And he fires the first pitch strike to Wilson Betterment.
Well, if you're Mike DeMuro behind the plate today, the umpire, you got to love this matchup, huh? These guys sitting out there pounding the strike zone. Just get down and zone in.
While Cliff Lee may not be quite as expeditious as Mark Burley, he's not a guy who takes a lot of time between pitches either.
No, Cliff, no. He gets his job on that. And Friday night with him and Verlander. I mean, these two guys, you get it. This is what pitching's all about. You have your idea, you pound the strike zone or get around it. Carl Pavano's been doing a great job at that as well. He gets the baseball, you throw strikes, man. There's no mystery. You don't need to walk around the mound, and the hitters don't need to get out of the box and adjust their gloves.
Swung on and missed. His second strikeout of the afternoon, 1 down here in the third. Let's get a look right now at our Subway fresh face of the game. And David Huff, last night against Lehigh, went 6 innings, allowed 4 earned runs on 99 pitches, struck out a half dozen. He's 5-1 on the year in his 7 starts. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Alexi Ramirez shortened the bunt, took a strike.
You know, that's where Cliff Lee, we couldn't believe it, and it was all year last year. Cliff was strike 1. Boom, boom. Spotted that fastball. Didn't mess around. How many 0-2, 1-2 counts did he have throughout the course of the year?
But again, they were quality first pitch strikes. Not right down the middle. They were working the corners.
And I'm not saying you can do that every time out. But, I mean, it's pretty demanding. That's a good heads-up play.
Carroll tried the bare hand grab, couldn't quite come up with it cleanly, and Ramirez has the first hit of the game for Chicago.
It's a heads-up play. I mean, Cliff's settled in. He's retired the first 7, and you're struggling as a hitter, so why not drop a bunt down? Change things up, and it's a dandy because you're forcing the third baseman today, which is Jamie Carroll, his first game playing, to barehand that ball and make a play. Not an easy play for a third baseman. It'll go as a single.
The fracture on Carroll's hand, by the way, that he's coming back from was not on his throwing hand. It was on his glove side. But as Rick said, that's a do-or-die play for a third baseman.
Well,
especially with the speed of Ramirez.
Not a third baseman. He's a second baseman or, possibly play a little shortstop. But that play right there is tough for any third baseman.
Brent Lillibridge batting 9th today. 10 hits and 63 at-bats on the year. Ramirez takes off. No, he stopped about 5 strides into it. I don't know if he just thought better of it, didn't like the jump he got.
That's exactly right, and he did the right thing. He would have been a dead duck. It was a slow start. Look at, he had him. That's smart because the catchers don't think going back to first base. They're thinking throw that ball down to second. So you have time to stop and get back as a base runner. He was about a third of the way down. And Shopik has thrown out 5 of 11. Pretty good percentage.
Very good. Fouled away by Lillibridge. Now he's going to have to battle down 0-2. At what point, I suppose, I'm wondering in my head, there's got to be like an internal mechanism for a base stealer. At what
About
point
3 steps.
Do you realize, okay, I can stop and still get back?
About 3 steps. I mean, and that's what you do when you're on a hit and run and you're a base stealer. When you take off on your 3rd step, you should be looking back to see what that guy does with the ball. If he doesn't hit it, that might have been. Did he swing at that pitch, by the way?
I don't think he did.
No, so I don't know if he thought it was a hit and run or not, but he looked back and he had time to stop, and it's about your 3rd step. Some guys obviously have longer strides, and maybe 2, another maybe 4.
Breaking ball hit to 3rd. Carroll gets 1 at 2nd. The turn by Cabrera is on the money. And Cliff Lee gets out of the inning with a double play ball. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It remains 1-0 Cleveland. Euclid High showing a little love for Slider here today as we go to the bottom of the 3rd.
Pretty good picture of him. Look at, he's going right back. He wants to see it.
I don't think Slider could execute a slide into second base. He'd come apart at the seams. Kelly Shopik fouls the first pitch off from Mark Burley here in the home half of the 3rd. Shop hitting .224, a couple of dingers on the year. He's been on base safely in 13 of the 18 games he's played. White Sox manager Ozzie Guillen. It's always a treat for him to watch Mark Buehrle take the hill, especially this year. At the knees, a called strike, although that was borderline. Shopik thought it was a bit low. Second strikeout for Buehrle. You be the judge.
Well, I'll tell you what, with these guys around the plate, that's a strike. Yeah. That's a strike. At the knees. You got to get that pitch, Matt. If they don't call the pitch above the belt, that's a strike. As a hitter, you got to try and foul it off. And these guys are going to be around the dish, so they will get that call.
Buehrle has retired 5 straight since the back-to-back hits in the first inning. Brady Sizemore looks at ball one outside. Evens the count 1-1. Mark Buehrle was a 38th round pick. 38th round. Swung on and missed back in 1998. Out of a junior college in Missouri. He grew up a huge Cardinals fan. That was the team he dreamed of playing for. Brady able to lay off that pitch, 2-2. He's one of those guys that's really been a classic late bloomer. When he was in high school, he was 5'7" when he graduated. So, I mean, he grew 5 inches after he graduated from high school to his present height is 6'2". He's never been a guy who can blow it by you, but he has mastered the art of command and changing speeds. 2 down as Sizemore grounds out the second. Yesterday's great clip of the game provided by Asdrubal Cabrera. He had 2 knocks in the ball game and has really continued to swing a very consistent bat.
Well, he's fit in nicely into the number 2 hole, I'll tell you that. Right in front of Victor Martinez, so the switch hitters that's pretty lethal 2-3.
Relax, you're at great clips as Asdrubal Cabrera with a hit in 13 of his last 14 games. Lined out the shortest first time up. Slow chopper to short this time. Ramirez on the run. On the money with the throw. Tribe goes 1-2-3. And after 3 innings of play, it's Cleveland 1, Chicago nothing. As in the first inning off Mark Burley. And as we go to the fourth inning of play, Cliff Lee has faced the minimum through the first 3 innings. Got a double play ball to end the third. He's made 34 pitches through 3 innings. 76% of them have been for strikes, and he has recorded 6 ground ball outs. Jason Nix goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Both pitchers have been efficient in the way they've thrown the ball and gotten hitters to swing early in the count. And my question to you is that a product of something they're doing, a product of hitters being too aggressive, or is it the fact that the hitters know these guys are going to throw strikes, so they want to be aggressive early in the count?
Scouting report, when you're going over it, be ready early in the game. They throw strikes. They're going to be around the plate. He can put you away if he gets ahead of you. So be aggressive early. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what? The hitters are going up there, and these guys are making quality pitches early. So if they get you out early in the count, that's quite all right. They're not, we mentioned it before, not just throwing it down the middle for strike one. It's got to, it's on the outside edge, or they move you off the plate. They cut it inside. They're like surgeons out there, man, with home plate. They have 17 inches to work with, and they know what they're doing. They're on the 2 inches on the inside, 2 inches on the outside. So that other, 12 to 13 inches middle of the plate, they stay away from.
2 guys really pitching at the top of their game coming in. Lee and Burley, and they've lived up to it thus far. 2-2 pitch.
Look at that. Cut inside.
This will be Victor Martinez at first. 1 down. Let's go back to the STO studios right now for a Ford Sports update. Al, what happened late last night that we missed?
Well, hey, guys, how about this for a story? Ryan Zimmerman with a couple of base hits against the Giants and extends his hitting streak to 30 games.
Yeah.
The Nationals may not be very good, but this guy sure is. 30-game hitting streak now for Ryan Zimmerman. Back to you.
That's awesome, isn't
it? 30 games. He's
this
starting to
early
get some
in the
pretty
year.
Rarefied air now. That's Sandy Alomar country.
That's right. Sandy had a 30-gamer.
That pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. He's batting 500 in the month of May.
I mean, that's some kind of hot streak right there. That's high school stuff right
50.
there. That's high school stuff he's taken to the big league level.
0-2 the count as Pasetnik looks at another strike.
The first 9 batters that Lee has faced, there was only 1 swing at his first pitch. And then Nix fouled off the first pitch in his second at bat.
The 0-2. Weak ground ball hit the short. Johnny Peralta throws him out. 2 down. Our Senior PGA Championship Challenge keyword of the day is flagstick. If you want a chance to win tickets to the Senior PGA along with autographed flags from previous champs, log on to STOHD.com. Click on the banner at the top of the page. Fill out the entry form. Use the keyword flagstick. 20 winners will be selected, so enter today. Jermaine Dye looks at a ball down low. We're going back to the scene of the crime on this next road trip. You didn't even hit the flagstick on your hole-in-one in Kansas City last year. You drained it in there on the
No, it was
spinner.
Minnesota.
Oh, was it Minnesota?
Yes, it was. See how soon we forget.
Kansas City.
No, sir. I'm going to have to get one there Monday.
Of course you would remember. That's right. You spun it backwards, though. That was impressive. Off the end of the bat from Dye, foul down the first base side. Two away, Dye grounded to third, his first time up.
This is a guy we showed you numbers in the first game of the series with a left-hander. Jermaine Dye really had 23 home runs off him last year and is off to just a terrible start against lefties.
Looks at a strike inside corner. He doesn't like it. 2-2.
Look at that. That's updated right now. 1 RBI against left-handers, and he's doing damage against the righties. That's hard to believe when he hit 23 homers against them last year.
2-2 pitch is fouled away. Unless it's just going to be one of those years, and strange things do tend to happen in the game of baseball, you would think those numbers will even out at some point this year.
Well, yeah. I mean, he just, for whatever reason. They're 5-3 against left-handed starters as a team this year. The Indians 4-3. Doesn't seem like we're facing as many left-handers as we have in the past for some strange reason.
Lee with the payoff pitch. Fouled away. Jim Thome not in the lineup today. We showed you last night he is really having a tough time running with the back. He's one of those guys who historically has been bothered with back problems. Doesn't bother him to swing the bat, obviously. We saw that last night with the 2 home runs. But he needs days off from time to time just so Ozzie Guillen can keep him in the lineup.
Give him a good day off against a guy like Cliff Lee. That's when you want to give your guys, a day off against a tough pitcher. Let him sit back and enjoy the day. He did his work and damage last night.
Again, the 3-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Cliff Lee has fanned 3 on the day, and he retires the side in order in the 4th. It stays 1-0 Cleveland. The Indians lead the Chicago White Sox by a score of 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Slider out among the crowd today. And a nice crowd indeed for this 12 o'clock start. 4th inning, 1-zip tribe thanks to Victor Martinez, who homered in the 1st off Mark Burley.
That was the first Indians home run when Cliff Lee's been on the mound off starters against him this year. And right now, it's a big one because it's the only run of the ball game.
2-0 pitch. And that is a strike. Here's what you missed if you tuned in late in the 1st inning.
And we really had a great shot where right before the pitch, Victor stepped out, trying to slow Mark Burley down, stepped back in.
Diving play won't be made. Martinez is 2 for 2. Shot it wide to 3rd, and both Fields and Ramirez chased after it, but neither one of them could get to it.
That's the old seeing eye base hit. He changed speeds on him, but Victor gets enough of it, gets it past Fields over at 3rd base into left field. Martinez with his 2 more hits. It's 16 hits now from the right side of the plate and an average of over 350.
I mentioned Cliff Lee, right around 76% for strikes so far today. Mark Burley, 75%. Shin-Soo Choo cuts and misses. He had a base hit his first time up. Burley's 0-1 pitch. You know, when you've got guys like Burley and Lee who are pitching well and really dealing and hitting their spots like they are at this point in each of their respective seasons, it's very difficult to string together a number of hits to get a rally. You almost only expect to score if they make one mistake and you hit a home run.
Well, if you can get that mistake, right. A lot of times, you foul mistakes off and, you hit it at somebody. That's what you try to do with good pitchers. I mean, you take advantage of every base runner you have if you can. Burley's tough to run on because he's got a great move to first base. He holds runners. He gets his third strikeout.
Boy, he changed speeds on Shin-Soo Choo. That ball looked like it was never going to get to home plate.
You never get the same pitch twice, man. It's a curveball.
He looked like he really
backed off.
Really flipped it. Yeah, that had some pretty good arc on it. So 3 strikeouts for Burley and 1 down for Johnny Peralta.
We started the year in Chicago, and I remember Ryan Garco in Burley's first start hit a line drive. Was this 2 years ago when he pitched his no-hitter? And they lined a line drive off him. I thought he was going to be out for a while. It looked like it broke his arm. He only missed I don't even know if he missed a start.
I think he did. I think he missed at least 1 start.
But I'm telling you, he came back.
He never went on the DL. He just had some swelling, and once that subsided, he picked right back up where he left off.
He's a gamer. He's an inning eater. I mean, he's a workhorse and has been for this staff. He's thrown over 1,800 innings since the start of the 0-1 season.
Bouncer to third. Fields goes to second for 1. The relay not in time. So Peralta aboard at first on the fielder's choice with 2 down for Ryan Garco.
Well, take advantage of the new spring Super Saver pricing and get field box seats behind the dugout for as low as $25. Now the remaining Super Saver games will be the 4-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays when we get back to town. Last 4 games in the month of May, so visit Indians.com. Value pricing for more details.
Murph went and looked it up, and Burley, he didn't even miss a start in 07. Ryan Garco hits one high in the air, deep left center field. It is gone to Souvenir City. Ryan Garco with a 2-out, 2-run homer. There it is, just what we talked about. You get that mistake, you jump on it, and just like that, it's a 2-run inning for the Tribe. Yeah. And a 3-0 Cleveland lead.
He didn't spot him, did he? He got after it in a hurry. Another Pepsi home run replay. Boy, there it was. Garco, normally he's not going to pull a ball, but it speeds up Garco's bat. He gets it up over the yellow line into the bleachers in left field. Boy, now that's refreshing. A couple of home runs. That gives Cliff Lee a 3-run lead, and he may not know what to do with 3 runs.
Jamie Carroll, slow chopper to third, cut off by Fields. Inning over. But the Indians, twice today, have gone yard off Mark Burley, and they now lead it 3-0 through 4. 4 complete at Progressive Field. Indians trying to row themselves to a series win if they can hang on today against Chicago. Cliff Lee has allowed just 1 hit through 4 innings. He'll face Paul Konerko to lead it off here. And the White Sox cleanup man fouls it off. Konerko, then A.J. Pierzynski and Josh Fields. 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Pierzynski grounded out to shortstop his first time up today.
Well, Cliff Lee has faced the minimum through 4 because after the Ramirez bunt single, he was able to get the double play.
Slow curve, and you could see Konerko trying to hold back and just able to get a piece of it. Cliff with that spiked grip on his curveball. When he's got it going, that ball really darts straight down to the hitter.
Yeah, he calls it a spike curve. You know, back in the days when we played, it was like a knuckle curve. You know, where a few guys had it and it was very good. Don Sutton was one that threw that. Bert Hooton. Cliff has had 7 counts of 0-2, 1-2, and it pays dividends.
His 4th strikeout of the afternoon. 1 down in the 5th.
Well, let's look at Cliff's pitch grips, and we'll show you that knuckle curve and the circle change, and you can see it up on the far right of your screen. That's how he holds it, with that index finger really pushed down on it. He's got the 4-seamer. It's the cutter. You can see where he holds it high. That's a good pitch for him. You act like he's got 6 pitches, but it's really just a variation of how you grip the baseball.
The fastball will move differently based on how he grips it on the seams. And that's that late movement that you always talk about that takes a hitter just off the pitch.
Look at that.
Boy, I mean, jam job. As Dribble Cabrera throws out Pierzynski 2 down. Time now to look at our All Care Dental and Dentures Smiling Easy Cam. Lots of kids in attendance here today. Weather Education Days, courtesy of Channel 3. All Care Dental and Dentures, 17 locations across northeastern Ohio. They make seeing the dentist easy. 11 of 14 first pitch strikes for Cliff Lee so far today. And make it another one as Fields fouls it back. Very similar to what we saw Carl Pavano do in the series opener.
Yes, indeed.
Fields, a strikeout victim his first time up. In the air, center field, Grady Sizemore drifting back. Makes the catch. And the Sox go in order again. Cliff Lee has faced the minimum through 5. And it remains 3-0 Cleveland. On Mark Burley and the White Sox, Matt Laporta, Kelly Shopik, and Grady Sizemore for the Tribe. Laporta grounded out to short his first time up and looks at ball one down low. Fouled back, evens the count at 1-1. We mentioned earlier that Mark Burley threw a no-hitter. In fact, in 2007, he had quite a year. In April of that year, he threw a no-hitter against the Rangers. In July of that year, he and his wife welcomed their first child into the world. And then in September of that year, Burley and a number of his teammates, including Jim Thome, went on a bear hunting excursion after a day game in Minnesota, and he got his first bear with a bow and arrow.
No kidding.
And he was...
I wouldn't hunt bear with a bow and arrow, pal.
Laporta draws the walk, first walk issued by Burley. Now, he was obviously very proud of this moment. Jim Thome was with him and actually captured it on videotape. Feeling pretty good about himself.
Right.
Till he comes back and starts telling people about it. They show the video, and Ozzie Guillen says, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Don Cooper's bigger than the bear you got."
Well, he doesn't bite as much or as hard, though. Well, they went after a game in Minnesota? Yeah, let's go bear hunt.
You know who set it up? Our good buddy Dan Gladden. He looks like a guy who could live out in the woods. That bunt fouled by Shopik.
Well, they probably had a guide to take them out there into the woods, huh?
One would hope so.
Yeah.
That they didn't just go wandering out there on their own.
Well, or, they have someone's property. You never know.
Yeah.
That's got to be a ways from Minnesota.
It was set up for them, yeah. Major League Baseball scoreboard, courtesy of Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Burley with a toss over. Laporta back standing. Don Cooper, by the way, is the White Sox pitching coach. So Ozzie Guillen.
Well, you got to get pretty close on a bow and arrow to get yourself a bear.
They were in a tree stand. They're not standing flat on the ground.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Bears can climb trees, pal.
Shopik squared, took it down low, 1-1. Have you ever had a bear encounter up in Niagara Falls, New York?
No, never, no. No, I've been to the zoo and I've seen bears. I've seen them stuff, but no.
That's as close as you want to get.
That's all I want to see.
I'm with you, pal.
They're cute. Yeah, they're real cute.
Throw over Laporta. Really had to scramble back. He doesn't have a huge lead, but Burley has one of those paralyzing moves.
Well, they figured they tried to bunt a couple of times, so we'll see if they take it off and try and hit and run with a 3-run lead. And so I'll throw to first, but no, they're staying right over there with the bunt, and Shopik a nice job of bunting strikes. That's all you have to do. Get yourself a decent pitch to lay down and get after it. I sort of like this right here. Move the guy along, try and add one more on to a 3-run lead. Middle part of the ball game, nothing wrong with that. Shopik, a guy that will swing through a lot of pitches and strike out, and he's a double play candidate, so let's move it along. Beautiful. Good job.
Well executed by Shopik.
Yeah.
Konerko takes the out, throws it to first where Jason Nix covers the bag.
I like that. I wouldn't mind seeing that done more, to be honest with you.
On the sacrifice, Laporta moves into scoring position now for Grady Sizemore.
Kelly did a great job of recognizing and just bunting strikes. Burley teased him with 2 there and still had the count in his favor, but then you got to get one up enough, and there's the bat head out in front of home plate. Nicely done. It's not that difficult. You see how easy it is right there.
Now Grady Sizemore 0 for 2.
There
he
you
lines
go.
one to left center field, a base hit. Coming around third, Matt Laporta will score, and Grady Sizemore delivers his 24th run batted in of the year. And the Indians, executing the fundamentals, take a 4-0 advantage.
Bingo, you hit it. Execution right there. Burley gave him the first base runner with a walk. You give me a sacrifice, you get a base hit, you have a run. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it, and why not? Execution at its finest. They call that ABC. A, get him on. B, get him over. C, get him in.
That was the first at bat of the game with a runner in scoring position. The Indians come through. Now as Drupal Cabrera 0 for 2 steps in. Down low for ball 1. Now we'll see how aggressively Grady Sizemore plays this with a 4-0 lead. If he can get a jump on Burley. But again, he's got such a good move, and that was close at the bag. What happens is the base runner, it's not that they get caught leaning towards second base. It's they don't see the ball coming at them. They're just late getting back to the bag.
Well, yeah, because all of a sudden he raises that leg and you're there flat-footed. And the next thing you know, he's coming your way. Now, that was a bunt for a base hit.
And
right
you know
there.
what? I think he had it set up perfectly. Had he been able to get that bunt down, he'd have been sitting pretty.
Well, sometimes, yeah. You try to be perfect with that bunt early, and it's the element of surprise when you're going for a base hit. He had him back. Fields was back. They figured no more bunting. Don't worry about it, but that would have been an easy base hit if Cabrera could have gotten it down fair.
Another throw over. That wasn't quite as good as his previous move.
Well, this is one guy you don't steal off. That's all. You just stay put. So far, this is the most runs that Mark Burley has allowed this year in any one of his starts.
Indians got their first run in the first inning on a 2-out home run by Victor Martinez. Then in the fourth inning, it was a 2-out, 2-run homer by Ryan Garco to make it 3-0. And now here in the fifth, the sacrifice bunt by Kelly Shopik put Matt Laporta in scoring position, and Grady Sizemore brought him home with a base hit. Now Cabrera lines one to second, caught by Nick's throwback to first, but Grady just does beat the throwback.
He couldn't get down on the ground fast enough to throw the ball, or he would have had a double play. Grady took off, and watch when he comes down, he just couldn't get anything on it by the time he had to throw. He wanted to throw it up in the air. He knows Grady's off. Look at him. Well, let me get down. He had to wait till that foot got on the ground.
Actually, a good job by Nix of realizing, let me wait and get my feet. Because, usually when you throw it off balance, that's when bad things happen to you.
That's exactly right.
Now Martinez 2 for 2 on the day. And he looks at a strike. Now with 2 outs, Sizemore can score from first on an extra base hit.
No reason for him to go anywhere. Grady's got to, start picking and choosing times. He's already been caught more than he's stolen, and that's rare for him. He's been caught 6 times. He's stolen 5. So he's just got to lay back and, wait for better times.
Oh, and 2 the count on Martinez now. Victor bloops one into right field, another base hit. He's 3 for 3. Sizemore will go all the way to third. And Indians at the corners with 2 down here in the fifth.
Boy, Victor just continues to just hit the baseball.
His batting average is now up to .388 for the year.
They got it inside. It was elevated, and it was like that cutter that ran in on the trademark, but he didn't try to pull it. He slaps it the other way. He's 3 for 3, and you have runners at the corners with 2 outs now for Chu.
Chu 1 for 2. Struck out his last time up. Burley really tied him up with breaking balls, and he starts him off with another slow, tantalizing curve for strike 1. And that was only 70 miles an hour.
Well, he really takes something off it. And as a left-hander, it's like trying to hit a slow-pitch softball.
Good stop by Przinski. Looked like he came back with the same pitch. I don't know if it was the 2-out, 2-run homer by Ryan Garco, but Burley has not been as sharp since that blast by Garco in the fourth inning. Indians have gone 4 for 8 in the 2-out hitting category here today. Chu trying to give Cliff Lee even more breathing room here. Swings and misses and strikes out. Pierzynski will tag him out to end the inning. Indians tack on another run. Through 5, they now lead it 4-0. Next inning of play. Not a bad day for sailing, although they say there could be some shower activity later in the day, so just don't stray too far from land. Wilson Betterman struck out his first time up, bottom third of the Chicago order. He'll be followed by Alexi Ramirez and Brent Lillibridge. Swung on and missed.
Tell you one thing, Cliff Lee is still in the zone.
Catches the outside corner to get ahead in the count. Swung on and missed. And another strikeout for Cliff Lee. That's number 5. 1 down here in the 6th inning. If you log on to Indians.com/STO, got some great ticket offers for you. Upcoming Indians ball games. All you have to do is log on Indians.com/STO and take advantage of some savings on Indians tickets for upcoming games. Indians will hit the road after today. It'll be an 11-day road trip. They'll play 10 games, 4 in Tampa, 3 in KC, 3 in Cincinnati before returning home to Progressive Field.
Well, you mentioned that, and then the pitchers started bunting. You know, they were in the cages to get ready for interleague play.
Kind of a quirk in the schedule, too, mentioning this upcoming road trip. 4 in Tampa, and then when we come home, 4 more against the Rays at home.
And then 4 against the Yankees. It's a 2 4-game homestands.
Yeah.
Or a 4-game.
Back-to-back 4-game series.
Right.
Which nobody really likes. Everybody, you know, the game of baseball is built 3-game series. You play 3.
I don't mind them when we're home. That's when you're on the road that seems like you're in that town forever.
Yeah.
When you're at home, it's fine.
But that next homestand, great seats remain for the Rays and the Yankees. They'll take us through Memorial Day. Alexi Ramirez has just the second hit of the day for Chicago. A solid line drive hit to left field.
And he has both the hits off Cliff Lee. He got the first one in the 3rd inning on a little bunt. And now it's a line drive. Well, follow the Tribe on your iPhone and iPod. In touch with MLB.com. It's a great new application. Features play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Indians.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase this application today.
Brent Lilovich thought about a bunt, but he pulled it back as the pitch was high. Looking for the element of surprise, just trying to get some base runners. He hit into a double play his last time up that ended the third inning. Caught the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Two balls and a strike. This will be the 70th pitch of the day coming up right here for Cliff Lee.
And only the second time he has been out of the stretch this afternoon.
Swung on and missed. Lillibridge, he let it all go right there. Pretty good fastball, though, from Cliff Lee.
Well, and it's down. You see it was down a little below the zone. He swings over the top of it.
Down, a little movement. And his hitters have told me before, his ball gets on top of them faster than you realize. Little tapper, foul. And I don't know if his move is deceptive or just the fact that he doesn't really show you the ball as a hitter. We've heard hitters say in the past, though, you're waiting for it and it's there before you can react sometimes.
I think it was Jason Bay said
yes,
that, where he came in and said,
swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Cliff, number 6 on the day. And there's another example of what you were talking about. When we were in Boston, Jason Bay says you're up there looking for it, it's there, and you swing and it's already by you sometimes.
Well, another good fastball. It's about the same spot he got him to swing at the second one and miss. Why not go back, attack it? So about 2 strikeouts in the inning.
And now Jason Nix with 2 down and a runner at first, 0 for 2. He's hit one back to the mound and popped up to first. A little bit too high. And for one of the few times today, Cliff behind 2-0.
Just the second time in today's game that Cliff has been on a 2-0 count.
All right. Alexi Ramirez, the runner at first. His lead takes a deep breath. And Nix fouls it straight back over the screen. The Indians came in today 12-22, last in the Central, 6.5 off the pace. White Sox 15-17, 2.5 out of first. So the division's still bunched together. So where the Indians just need a good positive run to get themselves back into contention possibly. Base hit to right field. Ramirez stops at second. Let's send you back to the STO studios now for a Ford Sports update. Al, what do you have down on the farm?
Well, Matt, the Columbus Clippers had a victory last night to open up a 4-game series against Lehigh Valley. Michael Brantley going deep here with the home run. 8-4 was the final. The Clippers play again tonight at 6:30. Andy Marte also with a couple of hits and 3 RBIs.
All right, thanks, Sal. There's a great shot of the short porch in right field and the big wall. That ballpark is just gorgeous down in Columbus.
I'd like to send along a couple of birthday wishes. Anna Jacobson of Brook Park turning 104 today. Anna, happy birthday to you. Mary Jane Lay of Newton Falls is 84. Mary Jane, happy birthday to you as well.
Two on, two out. Scott Pasednik 0 for 2. And the 0-1 pitch right back over the screen. Speaking of that ballpark down in Columbus, Huntington Park, thanks to Daniel Hawk of Columbus. He sent us up a copy of the Columbus Dispatch from opening day. Some nice stories, not only on the new Huntington Park where the Clippers play, but also a nice story on Torey Lovullo, the Clippers manager. And they're off to a great start this year. 0-2 pitch. He just missed. Crowd wanted a strikeout.
Wanted to go with the big curveball. Had to come back inside, wrapped around the plate.
'80th pitch now of the day for Cliff Lee. And that dipped low, 2-2. Mark Burley hoping to see his club get him a few runs here. Cliff Lee, meanwhile, would love to throw another goose egg on the board. And the 2-2. Shattered the bat. Slow roller, though. Cabrera won't have a play, and the bases are loaded. Once it got past Cliff Lee, there was just no time for Cabrera with the fleet-footed Pasednik going down the line.
That's what you call making too good of a pitch right there. That jammed him, and nothing he could do. You're absolutely right. Once it gets past Cliff, it's Cabrera was heads up. You know what? He wanted to throw to third base because figuring that runner, if he throws to first, may round. Watch him look at third. He knew it. He went right that way. That's a heads-up play. And Carroll was over there, just that Ramirez was smart enough not to round too far. He would have been out.
So the bases are loaded now with 2 out, and Jermaine Dye is the batter. And the White Sox are one swing away from tying this game up. Dye 0 for 2. Has grounded to third and struck out. First trouble of the day for Cliff Lee. And Dye aggressively goes after the first pitch, but fouls the fastball off. This could be a huge tipping point of the ball game. If Cliff Lee can get out of this, keep the White Sox scoreless. Really,
one swing of the bat here,
balloon.
Base hit, you're back in the ball game. You hit one out, it's a tie game.
Swung on and missed. On the year, the White Sox as a team are batting .412 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So they have had a number of clutch hits in these situations. But Cliff Lee trying to throw a bucket of ice water on that number. The 0-2. It's outside. Ozzie Guillen's club has been handcuffed by Cliff Lee so far today. A 1-hit shutout coming into the 6th. And now 3 singles have loaded the bases. Lee has struck out 2 in the inning. The 1-2 pitch. Too low to even the count. Alexi Ramirez, fast runner at third. Nix can fly at second, and Pasednik can really motor at first. And the 2-2. Pop foul out of play. Lee has made 28 pitches in this inning alone. He was clipping along at a very rapid rate. Struck him out looking to end the inning. He flips the bat in disgust. He's got words for Mike DeMuro. But the inning is over. Lee gets out of it. White Sox leave him loaded. It remains 4-0 Cleveland. Dye's been ejected from the game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. After Jermaine Dye struck out to end the inning, he had words for Mike DeMuro, and it looked like it was over. Well, he walked away.
Watch him throw the helmet, though. The helmet goes back towards him.
And that's
it. Automatic ejection.
He got run. Ozigian came out briefly, but then turned and walked away. So Dye is out of the ball game. Jason Nix has gone from second base out to right field, and Chris Getz has come into the game now at second base for Chicago. And now DeMuro is still hearing it from the White Sox dugout. And he's yelling back now at Ozzie Guillen, and Ozzie may not be long for this game. And he's gone. He has been ejected now by Mike DeMuro, and all he can do is laugh.
Well, now you might as well come out and have your say. Brzezinski's going to go to the mound. Burley's going to he's going to say, all I was telling you.
He called it a strike, so I'm not sure if what he's saying. I mean, it's a strike to Peralta, so he wasn't arguing that.
That's a good
Obviously,
point.
He's still chirping about what happened to Jermaine Dye.
Notice how the other umpire's got to come in and get his say. He's got nothing to say.
But what I don't understand, Rick, is if Ozzie wanted to get run, why didn't he just get run when Dye got thrown out? Because he turned and walked away, so he didn't get thrown out of the game. Now he's pointing over toward the Indians' dugout. I don't know. I'm at a loss. He's pointing over, I think, at Peralta. Just about the strike zone and the way he was calling it. But, again, he called the pitch to Peralta a strike.
It's curveball, slow curveball. It's right there. I don't know.
Unless, I didn't see. Maybe he was reacting to the fact that did Johnny say something to the umpire, and is he saying, why didn't you throw him out? Why else would he be gesturing over toward Peralta?
I have no idea.
In any event, he's been gone. He's been tossed from the game along with Jermaine Dye.
All right, there's the pitch that ends the inning to Jermaine Dye.
It's
inside
a pretty good
corner.
pitch.
Well, he thinks it's inside. Okay, he has his say. He was ejected more so for flipping that helmet, not for saying anything.
He's not going quietly. It's the first ejection of the year for the White Sox, and they lose two. Dye and Ozigian.
Well, he'll be able to go sit up into his office and watch it.
Third career ejection for Dye, 17th for Ozigian. And Peralta now down on the count 1-2. As I mentioned, Chris Getz is into the game at second base, and Nix went from second base out to right field to take over for Dye. 1-2 to Peralta. Ramirez from shortstop throws him out. One away.
Well, make someone's next birthday one to remember and celebrate with Slider out here at Progressive Field. Slider birthday parties for groups of 10 or more include ticket discounts, exclusive pregame meet and greet with Slider, and much more. 216-420-HITS.
Garco broke his bat and lined it right back to Burley for out number 2. Just shattered it in half. And Burley made the grab on the hill.
It almost looked like it had a magnet in his glove. Watch this. There it goes. He sticks it out right into it. Good play. He had a good look at it all the way, obviously, to just stick the glove up, and there it is.
Now Jamie Carroll bats with 2 down and the bases empty. Jamie 0 for 2 today. He's twice grounded out to third. Jamie Carroll was all set to start the year, and then the last exhibition game in Houston was hit by a pitch, fractured the hand. So he has been chomping at the bit to try to get back in the ball game, and he grounds out for the third time today. Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the 7th, 4-0 Cleveland. I think he was gesturing to James Hoy, maybe, or maybe Dale Scott, the crew chief, over on the right side of the infield in between the inning. Not much else the White Sox can laugh about today. Cliff Lee has held them scoreless through 6. On 4 hits, he has struck out 7, a season high. Paul Konerko looks at a first pitch strike. The 0-1 fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes. Konerko is grounded out to short, and he was the 4th strikeout of the day for Cliff Lee back in the 5th inning. Now the 0-2.
Cliff had to really work last inning, throwing 29 pitches. He gave up 3 hits in the inning. Of course, one of them an infield single, but he ended up getting the strike. He struck out the side. 3 hits and 3 strikeouts.
Konerko calls time, steps out. "90 pitches on the day for Clifton Pfeiffer Lee. And the 1-2 is fouled back over the screen. First meeting of the year between the Indians and White Sox, so you know they'll see quite a bit of each other over the next several months. Konerko lines one into right field, and the White Sox get the leadoff man aboard for the first time today. Time now for our Toyota game recap. For more information, log on to buyatoyota.com, courtesy of your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Solo homer by Victor Martinez in the first with 2 outs. Then in the 4th inning, a 2-out, 2-run homer by Ryan Garco. And then in the 5th inning, Grady Sizemore with an RBI single after Kelly Shopik sacrificed Matt Laporta into scoring position. And the Indians have backed Cliff Lee to the hilt today, who has a shutout going through 6 innings. A.J. Pierzynski, 0 for 2. Tapper foul. I'm not sure who's loving the home runs more today, Cliff Lee or our friends at the Gathering Place, because every time the Indians homer this year, Rick and I are each donating $5 per homer, and our friends at Great Clips are kicking in $50 per home run. So a lot of money being raised for the Gathering Place, a special community to help those who have cancer and their families deal with the disease.
I think they're both loving it. I think Cliff Lee is loving it, and he needed it. And I think it's great all the way around.
Yes, indeed. For more information, log on to touchedbycancer.org, and you can check out the Gathering Place. And you can also get involved by donating as well. 2-strike pitch to Pierzynski. Swung out and missed. He's got his 8th strikeout.
It's one of the toughest to strike out in the league is Pierzynski. So when you get him, I mean, you've earned it. He got that little breaking ball or cutter going away and gets his 8th strikeout.
The batter now is Josh Fields, 0 for 2. He has struck out and fly to center. And the pitch is outside for ball 1. Right back to the screen. The Indians head south after the ball game. Open a 4-game series tomorrow night against the Tampa Bay Rays in St. Pete, Florida. We'll have all the action for you at 7 o'clock on Sports Time Ohio tomorrow night. and Friday night. Saturday will be a game carried locally on Fox 8. And then Sunday, Rick and I will have you on Channel 3 to wrap up the 4-game series in Tampa. Strike 3 called as Cliff Lee takes care of Josh Fields. 9 punch-outs now for Lee.
Well, you can see where Cliff's locking up a lot of the right-handed hitters on the inside corner with his cutter.
Check out the Alltel text poll question of the game. Who would you like to see play first base for the Indians? Matt Laporta, Victor Martinez, Ryan Garco, Mark DeRosa. Text your answer to 31962, and we'll have the results coming up in a little while. Missed outside to Wilson Betterman, who has twice struck out today. James Hoy is, it looks like it's good-natured ribbing, but he's hearing it from some of those guys.
Yeah, you know what you do? You ignore it, man. At 12 o'clock, it's too early to take abuse from the dugout.
A strike to the outside corner. I mean, make no mistake about it, Mark Burley, I mean, he's a great competitor and he wants to win, but he's also sensing the levity in the moment, too, a little bit. And a 2-1 delivery. Down low, 3 balls and a strike. Out goes Kelly Shopik to talk to Cliff Lee. 3-1 the count on Betterman. Cliff Lee just over the 100 pitch mark, and there is not a hint of activity in the Indians bullpen. Check swing. Did he go? He did not, apparently. And it's ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Lee today. And that will send Konerko to second with 2 outs. And it will bring up Alexi Ramirez. And now it looks like some stirring in the bullpen, and we may get, looks like Rafael Betancourt is going to begin to throw. Here comes Carl Willis for the first visit to the mound. Really, you just can't say enough about the job Cliff Lee did today.
Well,
even though the White Sox obviously may have taken some exception to the strike zone, he has been consistently pounding the same spots all day.
I really don't think that the strike zone's been out of whack. Honest to God, they've made some quality pitches. He has had his good control. Cliff Lee has pitched like he has pretty much all year long. He's been on top of his game. He's gotten the outs when he's had to. They had one trouble inning. He faced the minimum up until the 6th inning. And now he's got a couple guys on base trying to get through it here. But 9 strikeouts. That's a season high for Cliff. I mean, he's been very, very good today. But Mark Burley has too. He's made 2 mistakes. One to Victor, and Garco took him out of the yard. Other than that, he's been very good.
Well, it just goes to show you, as Cliff has found out the hard way all season long, when your offense doesn't score for you, every little mistake you make is amplified. You know, if his team had scored him a couple of runs today, then he'd be looking at a very manageable situation. Now, the hole looks a lot deeper, even though it's still only a 4-run game. Chopped foul, 0-2 the count.
That's been a good pitch for him today, a cutter in to righties. He's had very good control with that, and when he does, he's going to have a good game. Because what that cutter does inside to the right-handers, it opens up the outside part of the plate for his curveball or changeup.
Fouled off the foot of Ramirez, so he stays alive.
Comes back with the curveball after that cutter inside, and Ramirez fouls it off his foot.
$15 counts so far today for Lee of 0-2 or 1-2. There's a ground ball in the hole.
Not going to get it done.
Laporta will get to it quickly, and the slow-footed Konerko held at third. So the bases are loaded for the second inning in a row, both times with 2 outs.
Well, Ramirez has had a good day. He is 3 for 3 off Cliff. All started from that bunt single in the third inning for him. And then it's been a line drive to left and then a ground ball that gets through the infield. But with Paul Konerko on second base, they can't score him. So it's the second straight inning where the White Sox have had the bases loaded, 2 outs. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for Littlebridge.
And it's going to be Carlos Quinton.
Oh, yeah. Remember they said he had a heel problem, but he is eligible to pinch hit. And you're one swing of the bat away from tying the ball game up if you're the White Sox.
Rafael Betancourt is loosening in the Indians' bullpen. So now the question is, do you just give Cliff one more batter?
Absolutely. I don't know if Betancourt's even ready, to be honest with you. He hasn't been throwing.
So Carlos Quinton will be called on to pinch hit here. And I would assume one way or the other, this is the last batter Cliff Lee would face today. Now the set and the pitch to Quinton is fouled back. This now leaves the White Sox with 2 players on their bench. One is the backup catcher, Corky Miller. The other is Jim Thome, who really is a pinch hitter, and that's it. I don't think he could come in and play defensively after watching him run the bases with the bad back and all.
Well, then they're pulling out all their straws right here.
0-1, piled out of play on the right side. 0-2 the count. Paul Konerko is at third. Wilson Betterman down at second, and Alexi Ramirez at first. And the 2-strike pitch. Just missed low. Boy, the crowd was up. They were ready for it. They wanted to hoot and holler. So the base is loaded, 2 out, and a 1-2 count on Carlos Quinton. Pinch hitting here in the 7th. In the air, shallow left center. Grady Sizemore will make the catch, and Cliff Lee leaves them loaded again. Stretch time in Cleveland. The Tribe leads it 4-0. Don't forget, fans, you can catch the game and enjoy pizza wings or a famous Panini's overstuffed sandwich on their beautiful patios. Panini's, the best food and outdoor dining in town. Visit paninisgrill.com. Leading off is Matt Laporta, 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the 5th inning. Carlos Quinton stays in the game. He's in left field. Scott Posednik slides over into center. And it's in there. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Burley is only at 85 pitches now on the ball game. 3-1 fouled away by Laporta. Count goes full. There's a solid drive, deep left field. It's going to get down and it'll go to the fence. Laporta on his way to second base. He's got a double, his first major league 2-bagger.
Seventh hit for the Indians. And it looked like he had that a changeup that speeds up the bat head of Laporta, and he pulls it down into left field. You can see it out away, and he hits it down into the corner.
Now, do you expect Eric Wedge to go back to little ball and bunt him over to third?
Why not? You did it back in the 5th inning. It paid dividends. You got a 4-run lead. Managers ideally would like to have a 5-run lead because where a grand slam cannot tie it.
Well, the White Sox have had the bases loaded in each of the last 2 innings.
I mean, so. But, you know, when you're like this, with Shopik, you made him do it once. You go ahead and let him hit it to the right side or give him an opportunity to with a 4-run lead.
Just missed inside with it. 1-1 the count. Of course, Burley doesn't want Shopik to just dribble one over on that right side.
That's why he's keeping it inside on him. So he's going to force him to really work hard to get it over to that side.
2-1. Matt Laporta, the runner at second base. 2-1 pitch. Again, it's outside. 3-1. Shopik trying at the very least to move Laporta to third, but he's in a good hitter's count right here. And he takes the big rip that came up empty. Full count. It's almost like a guy like Mark Burley lives for the 3-1 pitch because hitters are sitting for fastballs and he never throws one.
And the 2 pitches prior to that were away, way off the plate. So maybe trying to catch Shopik leaning and hit the ball that way and I'll buzz him inside like that.
And he strikes him out. 1 down. Hey, right now you can buy authentic Sports Time Ohio merchandise at stostuff.com. Our first 3 items are an STO cap, an All Bets Are Off t-shirt, and an All Bets Are Off talking bottle opener that has Bruce Drennan saying, "I love you, Cleveland." Check it out now at stostuff.com. Not sure if you can purchase the Bloody Mary red tops that Rick and I are wearing today.
Why not?
We'll have to get
it's a nice little shirt.
We'll have to get Mike Roche on that, see if we can get that on stostuff.com.
Well, he might do
that. I
think
think this could be a hot seller.
There's no question about it. It's perfect for a day like today.
Brady Sizemore ropes it foul, right side. It's not quite the blood red tops that you wore back in the mid-'70s.
No. This is more of a burgundy.
Yeah.
Not red.
A little muted from that.
Blood red.
The 0-2. And he struck him out looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mark Buehrle. 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Well, this Memorial Day on Monday, the 25th, the Indians will take on the Rays at a special 6:05 start. All fans in attendance to that game will receive a Tribe Grill apron. And field box tickets, just $20.
As Drupal Cabrera 0 for 3 steps in. And Mark Buehrle fires a strike. Scott Linebrink, right-hander, warming in that White Sox bullpen. 98th pitch of the day for Buehrle. Bloop down the right side. It's dropping, but a nice catch made by Nix, basket style, hip high to end the inning. 7 in the books from Progressive Field. It stays Cleveland 4, Chicago nothing. Days here at Progressive Field. Kids having a ball, and the Indians are rolling right now as we go to the 8th inning. Tribe with a 4-0 advantage. Cliff Lee, 7 shutout innings today. Struck out a season-high 9. He yields now to Rafael Betancourt in the 8th inning.
Rafi appearing for the 17th time this year. Good job by Cliff Lee. Comes right back out there, doesn't allow a run in his 7 innings. And his offense responded for him, not only in the first, but in the 4th. So he did a good job of putting zeros on the board, turning it over to the bullpen now.
Cliff Lee has dropped his season ERA down to 3. Started the day at 3.45. Another solid effort from the Tribe's left-handed ace. Jason Nix leading off. And it's going to drop into the seats down the right side. Nix 1 out of 3 on the day. Rafi Betancourt with the 0-1 pitch. In the air, right center, Shin-Soo Choo, the right fielder, grabs it 1 away. Time now for our direct energy, bringing the gas sequence. Take you back to the 6th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Jermaine Dye at the plate.
Well, Cliff Lee's going to start him off with a fastball for strike one. Got him ahead in the count 0-2. Missed with a fastball away. Went with that breaking ball down and in. Fouled off a heater. Got him with a fastball in, and that was going to be it for Jermaine Dye. It was over after that.
Direct Energy offers simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. Dye was ejected after he tossed his bat near home plate umpire Mike DeMuro. And then after one pitch in the next half inning, Ozzie Guillen was ejected for chirping from the dugout. One ball, one strike. As part of today's Fill the House for charity, $1 for every ticket sold has been donated to Our Lady of the Wayside. And a paid attendance today of over 23,000. And the group ticket sales efforts by Our Lady of the Wayside. The Indians proud to donate $30,580 to Our Lady of the Wayside. Tapper by the mound. Cabrera got to it, but no chance to get Posednik. Second time today, the speedster has an infield hit. And he's 2 for 4. So a tip of the cap to our fans for supporting this day baseball game. And great job by the folks at Our Lady of the Wayside. And a nice donation, courtesy of the Indians, for $30,580. First at bat today for Chris Getz, who replaced Jermaine Dye in the lineup after he was ejected. Runner goes, and a pitch fouled back.
Didn't this happen a couple times? Was it last night? Posednik had a good jump, fouled off. Yeah, it was. It was off Sowers where he had a couple of good jumps and they fouled it off. And the same thing happened here. First pitch, foul ball. He had it stolen, it looks like.
Betancourt throws over. I mean, that run doesn't really mean anything.
No, but he took off on the first pitch, so he's going to pay attention to him now.
Left-hander Aaron Laffey now warming in the Tribe pen. And a strike called, 0-2. There you see Laffey loosening. High and wide, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 pitch, he just missed outside with it. Betancourt with a long pause, and now the 2-2. And it's fouled right back. Chris Getz is one of those guys that the White Sox had been after for a long time. They drafted him out of high school in the 6th round. But at that point, he decided to go to college, and he went to Wake Forest. Spent 1 year with the Demon Deacons before transferring back home to the University of Michigan. And the White Sox took him in the 4th round in 2005. Bouncer to third. Carroll on the short hop goes to second for 1. Relay won't be in time. 2 down. Let's send you back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports update. Al, what's going on the senior circuit today?
Well, Matt, Rick, only one game right now, and the Atlanta Braves currently leading the New York Mets as Matt Diaz singles here up the middle to get a run home. 4-2 is the score. They're now in the fourth inning. Let's send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Here it's Paul Konerko, 1 for 3. One on with 2 away in the 8th inning. In the air, center field, Grady Sizemore, routine for him. Inning over. We head to the bottom of the 8th here at Progressive Field. And it stays Cleveland 4, Chicago nothing. Back here at Progressive Field. Kids enjoying a day at the ball yard, and the Indians enjoying a 4-0 lead. Our Lady of the Wayside benefiting from Fill the House Charity Day. Lots happening here at the ball yard on a Wednesday afternoon. New pitcher for Chicago as we go to the home half of the 8th inning. Right-hander Scott Linebrink coming on, and look at what he's done. 0.82 ERA so far this year.
You remember last year when he took over, he was outstanding for him in the first part of the year until he hurt himself. What a terrific setup guy he is for the White Sox. They've got some very good arms coming out of that bullpen. This is how you want to play them. You want to have the lead going into that late innings, because anything after usually the 6th inning, they're going to be tough to beat because their bullpen did an outstanding job last night, just giving up, 1 or 2 hits in 5 1/3 innings.
Victor Martinez, perfect on the day, 3 for 3, steps in and looks at strike 1. Victor homered in his first at bat. And his last 2 homers have both been right-handed and opposite field shots, although the one today was almost dead straight away. Just to the right of straightaway center field. But what we noticed was he barreled that ball up perfectly off Mark Burley. The one he hit in Boston was more impressive just because of how far that one carried.
He had a great swing on that one. Yes, from the right side. When you go opposite field or, right center, it's a great swing. And, pitchers sometimes, they got to tip their cap because you're taking them to the deepest part of the park. It's not easy to go opposite field.
This scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. I still don't quite fathom how strong you have to be to hit a ball out of a major league park opposite field.
You better be strong.
2-2 pitch foul back, because in my minuscule time of playing baseball as a kid, the only way I could ever hit a ball hard was to be out front and really pull it. So to just try and get your brain wrapped around how strong you have to be to hit it out the other way.
Just think of it this way. Think of it as you playing golf and you hit your best drive ever, where everything just is in fluid, everything goes smoothly, and you don't muscle up. It's just like that. But these guys are strong here, man. They're big.
That's not going to get out of here, I don't believe. No, backing up onto the track. Posednik gets it for out number 1. Well, let's check out the results of today's All-Tel text poll question of the game. The majority of our viewers like what they've seen from Ryan Garko to get more time, more regular time at first base. But as Rick pointed out earlier, Eric Wedge is going to get Victor Martinez a lot of time at first as long as he continues to play Kelly Shopik behind the plate.
Well, and Shopik's going to catch Lee, and he's probably going to catch, 2 of the guys in the rotation out of the 5. So that means Victor's going to be at first. And then we will see, because in the near future, Travis Hafner's going to be back, and he'll take the DH role back when he gets back to the big leagues. So that's going to be another position that you can't DH, either Garko or Martinez.
There is Hafner, who has been swinging the bat in BP sessions, and
he'll be out on assignment, right?
Yeah,
when we head out on the road.
Heading out on a rehab assignment indeed. Chu strikes out. Been a tough day for the Indians cleanup man. He has fanned 3 times, 1 for 4 with a single that came back in the first inning. 2 down. And Johnny Peralta will be the batter, 0 for 3. Key point in this game, though, came back in the 4th inning. With Peralta at the plate and 1 out and a runner at first, he hit a ground ball to third. They forced the runner at second base. Peralta was able to beat it out at first. Had he not, that's an inning-to-inning double play. The fact that he was able to be safe at first and able to Ryan Garko to come up, hit the next pitch of the game out for a 2-out, 2-run homer. And it made it a 3-0 Indians lead at that point. They would add a run in the 5th, and that has been it for the scoring. 4-zip Tribe with 2 out here in the home half of the 8th. 1-1 pitch fouled away. Cliff Lee, 19 of 27 first pitch strikes today, helped him pitch 7 shutout innings. He needed 55 pitches to get through the last 2 innings when the White Sox loaded the bases twice. But to his credit, he got out of both of those jams. And look at what he's done in his last 5 starts, a 1.42 ERA. Johnny gets a piece of that pitch. The difference today for Cliff Lee was the run support. In 6 of his 7 starts coming into today, the Indians had only managed a total of 2 runs. But today they showered him with 4 runs of support, and he made it stand up. 2-2. Now it looks like it'll be up to Kerry Wood to finish it off in the 9th inning. The 2-2 from Linebrink. Out of play. And Peralta stays alive. There is Kerry Wood. Been a tough homestand. He just hasn't had many opportunities to get out there and do his thing.
He hasn't had them all year.
It's a little more harsh than I was thinking.
Well, I mean, on a consistent basis, when you think about it, the games that have been played, there hasn't been a lot of close games to where he's got to come in and get a save.
Slowly hit towards third. Fields fires a little high. Peralta beats it out. Infield single for the Indians shortstop, his first hit today. Johnny with a little smile. He says,
well,
I'll take it.
With 2 outs, 2 strikes, you know he's in a hot streak when he can get an infield hit because Johnny doesn't run well. There you go.
Give him
Just
credit,
put your
though.
head down.
Head down,
they count,
hard.
man. You get infield hits. He says, I was safe. Yes, you are.
5-game hitting streak for Peralta. 9 for 21 during this tear. And Ryan Garco gets another chance to hit. 1 for 3. That 2-out, 2-run homer in the 4th inning was a big one. Last time up, Garco hit one off the end of the bat. Broke his bat in half. And he lined it right back to Mark Burley on the mound. Garco fouls it straight back. A healthy cut. 1-1 to count. Eric Wedge and his club looking to win a series here at home as they are about to embark on a 10-game road trip. 1-1 pitch. Catches the corner. Don't forget, stay tuned right after the ball game. We'll look back at the highlights, talk with one of the heroes from today's game, and we'll look forward to the big 4-game series coming up down in St. Petersburg, Florida, against the reigning American League champion Rays. The 1-2 to Garco. In the air, center field, pretty well hit. Back goes Posednik. He'll have room. And we'll go to the 9th here in Cleveland. Kerry Wood coming on. Tribe on top, 4-zip. Take 2 out of 3 from their Central Division rivals, and they'll turn it over now to Kerry Wood here in the 9th inning. Kerry Wood has not pitched in the last 3 days. His last appearance was on May 9th against the Tigers, coming on for just the 13th time this year. And let's face it, as you said, relievers in general walk that fine line between too much work and not enough work. And for Kerry Wood, there just hasn't been enough.
That's well, the types of games, they haven't presented themselves to bring him in. Because a lot of the scoring has been done off our bullpen late. So, it's opened up games, and it hasn't kept it close to where you could get to Kerry Wood. And you have to save him to the back end, to the 8th or 9th inning. It just hasn't worked out to this point.
Przinski just foul tipped that one. A.J. Przinski is 0 for 3 on the afternoon with a strikeout. Przinski, Josh Fields, and Wilson Bedham, the scheduled hitters for the Sox here in the 9th inning, with the Tribe in front 4-0. Swung on, foul tipped. And the 1-2 delivery is in there for a called third strike. Really locked him up with the off-speed pitch. 1 down here in the 9th. Let's look at our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game. No doubt about it, Cliff Lee was dynamite with a season-high 9 strikeouts.
Back into a groove. You can see over his last 5 starts, the ERA 142. He has been dealing. He's been mixing his pitches well, and look who's right next to him, Bavano. That's a nice combination right now.
Josh Fields sends one out of plate on the right side. Josh Fields struck out in the 2nd inning. Fly to center in the 5th. Was called out on strikes in the 7th. Woods straightens him up with a 97-mile-an-hour heater. In on his fists. Shallow right. Here comes Chu. 2 down. One out away are the Indians from a series win at home against Chicago. Wilson Bedham at 0 for 2 with a walk. He has struck out twice today. Switch hitter, batting left-handed for the first time, and he fouls it away. Just missed outside with that pitch. The Texas native Kerry Wood fires, and Bedham sends one to first, backhanded by Martinez, goes to the bag, and the game is over. Oh, Kerry Wood sets him down 1-2-3 here in the 9th inning. And the Indians take 2 out of 3 from the Chicago White Sox, blanking them today 4-0. The Indians were one of just